In order to do that, you need to select your linear layout by clicking on the black background. You can tell if it's selected when there's a red border around. And then you want to go into this window here, Properties, and look out for a property called Padding. And then simply, add padding like, 4 pixels. And you can see the padding is automatically and instantly added to the view. Alright. So that's it for our layout. Just save it again, and now we can start coding. Alright, here we are in our main activity, and now that we defined those views, the button and the edit text view in our layout, we can now start to implement them in our source code. So in order to do that, we simply start by creating 2 global variables, one called button, and I'll name that my button, and the other one is an edit text, and I call it my text. Now you can see there's an error, and it says that it cannot resolve to a type. So in order to fix that, we need to import the button class from the Android widget package. So just click import button, and the same for edit text. Just import edit text, click that, and as you can see up here, it automatically imported the corresponding classes, button and edit text. Alright. Next thing is you want to come down here after super on create. Now we have to link those variables to our layout elements, layout views that we created previously. So in order to do that, you type my button equals, and we'll cast that to a button, and then we'll call find view by ID, open parentheses, R, which is our resource file, dot ID dot, and here you can see the IDs we defined in our layout, and we want to choose my button. And alright, and the same for the edit text. Say my text equals, cast that to an edit text, find view by ID, r.id.myText. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to set a few properties for our edit text view. First, I want to set it to be a single line, and it's done by calling this method set single line. And also, when that edit text view gets the focus, Android will automatically display an on-screen keyboard to help you type text into that edit text view, and for our purposes we don't want that, so I want to switch it off. And you do that by setting the input type, and you want to set it to type null, and that will keep the soft or on-screen keyboard from appearing. Alright, so before we implement the on-click event listener, we want to create another global variable called count, and we data type it to an integer, and that is equal to 0. And now we come down here and we'll actually add that on-click event listener by typing my button dot set on-click listener new on-click listener and close it off. And now it gives us an error, and it's basically the same error we had when we added the button and the edit text. It simply needs to import a class, and you can simply just import that class, and then it says, well, now you have an on-click listener, you need to actually implement a method called onClick. And so we don't have to type that, we just simply let Eclipse do it and click on Add Unimplemented Method, and there you have it. So let's just delete that text here. And now we have to decide what we want to do when we click on that button. Now what I like to do is I want to output a text into the edit text view. And I also like to increment the count variable to indicate how many times the user clicked on the button. So to do that, we simply type my text dot set text, and then I want to type you've clicked plus, and now plus plus count, which means to increment the variable count by 1 before using it, plus times. So when the user clicks the button, there will be a text outputted into the text field which says, or into the edit view, which says you've clicked 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, and so on. So let's just save that, and then I'd say we just give it a try and run the application. Now, as you can see, there's actually an error when we try to start our application, and now we have to have a look at why there's an error. So let's go back to our Java file, and I think I'll see. Of course, you have to put that set content view method before you actually start to modify the buttons and the edit text. So let's save that and just run it again. Alright, and here you actually have it. That's our beautiful application. As you can see, we have here our edit text view. You can actually edit some text there. And here's our button. And when we click that button, you can see that it adds, you've clicked 1 times, 2 times, 3, 4, 5. Automatically increments that number and prints a string into that edit text view. Alright, I hope you found this tutorial useful and you learned something. In the next episode, we will have a look at radio buttons and checkboxes. So stay tuned and thanks for watching. I'm your host, Matthias Reich, and I'll see you next time.